Hello and welcome to Ninqueso Almost Live, episode 47. I am El Gran Queso and I am joined by the lady who is levelling up today. It is Miss Bree.
Hi, bestie. How are you?
I am good, thank you. I am good. How does it feel to have your new powers from levelling up?
I think, I'm enjoying my new powers, really, especially the death stare. The
death stare. Don't do that on me. If you did that on me, I wouldn't be able to stop recording and this podcast would go on forever.
Stealthy Archer. That's my skills tree at the minute.
Stealthy Archer's good. I'm playing Skyrim as a Stealthy Archer at the moment. I thought, do you know what? I like playing as a Stealthy Archer. I'm just going to do a character who's a Stealthy Archer.
We did play Stealthy Archer the other Saturday, didn't we?
Did we? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can't speak about that though, can we?
No, we can't. So, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Let me think. I started Twilight Princess on the Wii U, the HD version, and I was like, I don't think I've played the HD version. I've played it on the Wii, and I'm sitting there playing it on stream. And I'm like, this looks really, really good. I don't remember this game looking so good. That's because I've only played the original version. Apart from that, I'm not really playing much else, really. Not like Animal Crossing again. Been doing some of that. That's kind of what happens.
I've been on my island. I had a break for a week because I had an awful lot going on in my life.
12 days, that's more than a week.
Well, I did go on, and there were a lot of weeds on my island, and I'm disgusted about it, but I'm very glad that Marshall's left because very grumpy little individual, Marshall.
You can use weeds to create things, though, so it's good to have weeds.
Yeah.
Because some items need weeds to craft. Oh, that's...
I did. Go on.
I created a pitfall and pushed one of my villagers into it.
Pitfall. I don't even know what that is. I just need to get more hours into it, I think.
You make it out of, like, it's a item that you can make and you bury it in the floor, and if anyone steps on it, they fall into a hole and they're like, I can't get out. And I actually pushed
those in real life.
I actually pushed Marty into it. I pushed him and then he was like really upset. He was like, I'm sad, leave me alone. So I hit him with my net a few times to make him even worse. And then after about 2 minutes, he was like, I'm happy again.
I met Celeste last night.
Did you do the shooting stars?
I did.
Okay, you need to go on today then, because there'll be shooting stars on your beach, and if you don't go on today, they won't be there again.
Okay.
So you have to go on.
As soon as we finish the podcast then.
Yeah, just walk along the beach and collect them all.
All right. So with that in mind, let's do some quick news.
Some quick news. What the kind of news we don't really want to talk about, but feel we should mention, although one of them I really do want to talk about, but there's not really much to say about it, so, you know.
That's the same one I want to talk about.
Okay.
First item.
Monkey Ball and Yakuza creator, do you want to say the name, because I'm going to butcher it, Toshiro Nagagoshi has formed his very own studio. Now, the early Monkey Ball games are pretty good, and I've only played Like a Dragon on the Yakuza, and that was really, really good. And I want to play the others, I just haven't had time to do it, so it'd be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus is already being streamed online, and
it's not even out yet.
It's not out till Friday, but it's leaked. People are streaming it, which is very, very silly, I think, because you're going to get yourself copyright claimed by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Go on there, you do this one.
Oh, Lego Star Wars. So the Skywalker Saga is launching in April. There is a trailer online, and I am, we both are, unfeasibly excited.
It looks great. So good.
Which of the 9 films you can play. Everything's included. Yep. There's a whole load of extras. I'm beyond excited.
I like the clip where like they were playing as Jabba the Hutt, and he's like along the floor. April 5th that comes out, and yes, I will be picking it up. Definitely. I'm probably going to get it on the Xbox. I think it'll look amazing on that.
Are you going to buy it on Twitch, though?
I don't know, because the problem is Star Wars music's very, like, iconic and gets you copyright claimed quite a bit. It probably wouldn't on Twitch, but when I upload it to YouTube, I'll definitely get copyright claims, because it just happens with Star Wars games. Apex Legends developer Respawn are making 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Star Wars games, including an FPS and a Jedi Fallen Order sequel.
Ooh. So, is that the end?
No, it's not.
One more.
There's like more, yeah. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is being added to Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass in February.
Yes.
And that was the quick news.
It was very quick. It was. The exciting bit in the middle.
But... I know. We peaked in the middle and it was all downhill. But yeah, you know, like Microsoft decided to buy Activision.
Yes.
Someone's tips that EA is going to be the next one to be brought out.
Yes. So this is a tip that's been online. Myself, I'm just like, holy moly, they have very, very deep pockets. Now, EA are not in the league of Bethesda or Activision Blizzard or anything like that, but they're still probably worth about $38 billion.
Yeah.
So Microsoft have indeed got very, very deep pockets, but this may actually be to forestall some bigger players getting involved in the industry, and we'll probably talk about that.
Yeah, there's stories that sort of tie into that a bit later on as one of the reasons why they did buy Activision, because apparently Activision was looking to be bought. Yeah, which getting on. So yeah, EA is now being tipped for purchase.
But I don't know. Some people are saying Sony are interested. So we'll wait and see. This is an outsider's tip. So this is a kind of story, non-story in one way. It's a rumour, but it's definitely within the bounds of possibility because, you know,
that's
Microsoft
what I'm sort of
definitely have the money.
That's what I'm like with this. It's kind of like no one really saw Activision coming. So if it happens, it happens. But I don't know. It's like I don't think EA is in a position where they're looking to be brought out. Whereas obviously Activision was getting all this bad press from everything that's been going on. And I think that's why...
We've got a story about that next.
Yes, we have. So I think that's why they wanted to be brought out. But I can't see why EA would want to be brought out at all.
Although I've heard a list of potential buyers. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's keep an eye on it.
The industry's changing very quickly, so it may well be the truth. I think we're sort of like in a period of consolidation, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like the big players are coming in. Obviously, you know, they want to protect the industry. And
so
things.
I am going to move on to the next story because it's very, very closely linked because it is about Activision Blizzard. CEO Bobby Kotick was considering the purchasing of gaming sites, and the Kotaku and PC Gamer have been mentioned. And this is to try and change the narrative.
Yep. It's
around Activision because it was so very, very toxic and, you know, justifiably so because we've got bullying and sexual harassment and they had become a brand which was, you know, equated with all the worst practices that you can possibly imagine.
There was a story that we would have touched upon a few weeks ago, but the podcast didn't happen, where Lego was actually thinking about not doing a set because they have to have the Activision label on. It's kind of like we don't know if it's really worth it, but to be associated with Activision at the moment.
No,
but I think this story here just shows just how bad this guy is. If he was honestly considering buying media outlets to make them write stories that make them sound better, that's just like you're doing wrong.
It's like, why would you not just address the internal, you know, rather than spending out that amount of cash just to get good PR. I mean, you can get good PR by addressing the problems systemically from the inside, and everybody goes out and says, wow, these guys really have turned it around here. Because remember, this story came from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like, yeah.
I think it shows a lot of...
Activision has been acquired by Microsoft, and they are going to divest themselves with Kotick as soon as possible.
As soon as the deal's gone through, I think he's gone. But unfortunately, he's going to be gone with a big payout. And I think this story here just kind of shows the mentality of the guy. It's like, rather than trying to, like, okay, how can we fix this problem? It's just like, we'll just, we'll just buy them and then they'll just write, and we can make them write good things about us. And it's just like, wow.
Well, I genuinely think that a company's ethos starts from the top. And we'll just say in the UK, that's becoming very obvious right now in our particular political sphere. But, you know, this is the thing, is the tone begins all the way up. So if there's a bad working practices, then we can, trace it all the way back to him.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. It's awful. It's so bad. I just can't fathom how people like that exist. Have you got a knock at the door? Don't worry. I will edit this. I will edit this out.
Hold on.
I will edit this out.
Actually, birthday delivery.
Oh, what you got?
I've got some donuts. I know, I'll bring some back.
Okay, moving on. There's an unofficial Zelda PC port, and they say it's about 90% complete, say the developers.
But this is fan stuff, isn't
It
it?
is. It's not. That's why unofficial. So yeah, they're basically like decompiling the original Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so that it can be moved to other systems with ease, and obviously then they can upgrade and things. Now, Nintendo's not going to like this. I don't understand. I have heard that when you decompile like the original game footage, they've kind of been doing it so that it is legal. So I don't think there's a lot Nintendo can do other than copyright claim videos and images that go up online.
Mean, as far as I can understand, this is all new code, so that's not an issue. So they're technically on the right side of the law, but you're right. Nintendo are not going to be happy, and they're quite...
I know. I just always think with things like this, is if the guys are that, are that talented to be able to do this kind of thing, why don't they just make their own IP? Just make your own game. So many fan projects go out there. It's like, oh yeah, well, look at this, blah, blah, blah. And then the company's coming in like, bang, shut it down. Cease and desist straight away. And it's just like all that work that you've done where you could have just... could have just made your own unique game with that as an influence rather than it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I know, like Super Mario 64, has that's happened and that ended up online. Obviously, they get the odd site, shut it down, but once it's online, it's online. There's not a lot they can do about it because it gets everywhere, really. Doesn't it? So yeah, so obviously there'll be like graphical enhancements and things like that, so you can play Ocarina of Time on your PC.
Yeah, so we're looking at a 1st of April release, but they're hoping to have it complete by the middle of February.
Yeah.
So
interesting. We will see what Nintendo has to say about this, because obviously once it starts hitting the mainstream news media, Nintendo's going to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. And obviously, I think Nintendo's going to take it quite seriously because of the Nintendo Switch Online expansion. They're not going to want a free way for you to play the games better than what's playing on their thing. So I think if there is a way they can stop it, they will.
Yeah, I think you're right. So,
being bopped by the cat. Being bopped. Moving on. Right.
This is going back to sort of link to our first story about Activision and so on. Phil Spencer has come out and said a few things. And it's basically that he trusts Nintendo and PlayStation and is more concerned about other tech competitors. And this goes back to the possible buyers, as we mentioned in our first story.
Yeah, words where they won't do anything that damages gaming. So. No,
that's what he's saying. He says that he is more worried about people like Google, Amazon, Netflix coming in. That he says that he thinks that Nintendo and so on have the best interests of gaming at heart. That he said, this is a quote, they have a long history in video games. Nintendo is not going to do anything that damages gaming in the long run because that's the business that they're in. Sony is the same and I trust them. And then he goes on to say... He says, when we look at the other big tech competitors, for Microsoft, Google has search and Chrome, Amazon has shopping, Facebook has social, all these large-scale consumer businesses. So, yeah, I think really we need to have protective acquisitions. If he is worried about these larger businesses acquiring parts of the gaming and in bad faith, then fair enough, and I get what he's saying.
Which I guess it's also like, if this is the case and that's why they bought Activision, then there is a chance that Activision games will still come to other consoles.
And it's funny because he actually tweeted out this week.
Yeah,
he tweeted out, had good calls with this week leaders at Sony. I confirm our intent to honour all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. So
it's
that's
very choice words on that, though, isn't it? So it still doesn't necessarily mean every single Call of Duty going forward will be on PlayStation, but everything that's already contractually obliged to be there will be. So it'd be interesting to see. I mean, they'll still probably get a good proportion of people coming over to Xbox if, like you say, because it will go on Game Pass. So it'll be free to play on Game Pass if you've got that. And I think that's their main thing. And if you've got like, do I pay £70 for it on PlayStation when in a year's time there'll be another one out? Or do I just play for free on Xbox? I think that is the only possibility where it might still come. I still personally think it won't be on PlayStation once all the contracts are done, but we don't know how far into the future that goes.
Yeah, but the fact that he's tweeted out, and you know, this is sort of like from our connected story, is that this is, he actually used the word, "I confirmed our intent to honour all existing agreements." You know, and the fact that he's actually tweeted that it's really important, and that's something that people want to see. They want to see Call of Duty on PlayStation. And he did actually finish up saying, "Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship." And that's the key part of this announcement, really, is that there is seen to be a relationship between Microsoft and Sony. I've got no doubt that they're talking very seriously.
This whole like war thing with the consoles is like a juvenile thing that is all like tribalism, and just like, it's a small sect of PlayStation people, it's a small sect of Xbox people, but they're the most, they're vocal. That's the problem.
See it that way.
So no, like majority of people, I think the majority of people don't see it that way. But the problem is you've got that small little, the Sony fanboys, the Xbox fanboys, the Nintendo fanboys. But because of the sort of attitude of them, they're very, very vocal about it. So it from an outsider looking in, it seems like this toxic rah, 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 fighting argument. But obviously when you actually look into the business side of things, you know, they have worked closely together.
This is the nature of online media, isn't it? It's, and you've said this to me before, is normally the village idiots would just congregate around the well and everybody ignored them.
Yeah.
Except now the well is places online where they congregate and talk.
Now all the village idiots.
And
I
they're
can't
very
hear you
noisy.
now because Kelly just whacked my wire out of my headphones. She jumped off. Keep talking.
The reasonable people tend to be not so het up about these things, and they're sort of like, well, I like my gaming, but I don't get involved in console wars because it's nonsense. And that is the vast majority.
Yes.
Most people just want to get online, enjoy their gaming. They've got, you know, busy lives, just get on. But we have, unfortunately, the toxic vocal minority who are gathering around the village well.
I think one of the biggest like franchises that shows this so well is Pokemon. Whenever there's a new game announced, there's so much backlash on, like, from what it seems like, there's so many people saying, oh, the graphics are terrible, blah blah blah. Like Diamond and Pearl remake got so much hate from like the chibi art style that they're using, but yet it's gone on to be one of the best selling Pokemon games of all time. So it is just that small minority game, meh, 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 meh. And everyone else just like, oh, whatever. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess that would be why, if EA does get bought out, going back to that first story, that would be one of the main reasons why, to stop it from going to a new big player that comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's we've kind of touched upon this next story, haven't we? That Phil Spencer confirms plans to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Let's talk about Nintendo.
Yes. They have been working on the emulators on Ocarina of Time on the Switch. The main bit they've done is, I've not played it through to this point in the game, so I can't say what it looks like or anything offhand. But the water temple, when it first came on,
water and mist and what have you, apparently it was just not up to standard. I hadn't seen it.
One of the things that the Nintendo 64 was renowned for, because it was like the first 3D thing and it wasn't massively powerful, most games had this sort of fog to mask distances. So there's a bit in the water temple where you fight, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, where you fight Shadow Link, and it's like it's like just a big open area with water on the floor, and there's all this mist around, and the water's like reflective and stuff. When it first released, there was no reflection on the water and there was no mist, so it just looked off and wrong. Apparently the mist still isn't quite there, but they've actually got the reflection back in the water and that now. So, you know, they're working on it. I mean, it was obvious they're going to work on it. They weren't just going to be like, yeah, there you go, this is how it is, because they always update things. Yeah. And it's like people are sort of saying, oh, it's great, they're actually listening to the fans. And it's personally, I think they knew the state. They knew what that they had put out, but they had deadlines to meet, and they couldn't quite get it to where they wanted to in the time.
As we've always said, releasing too quickly. Get it to market, and then clean it up afterwards.
It's a bit, but I don't like that. I really, like I say, I'm not a fan of that style of things. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but at least they are improving it, kind of thing. And at least it's not, I think that get it to market and then improve it afterwards is worse when there's physical media involved, because that means 10 years down the line, when the 10-20 years down the line, when the servers are gone and you buy this physical media, it's going to be a broken game that you've got. Can you, like you say, 20 years down the line, you pick up a copy of Cyberpunk 2077 and you've never played it before, you've got no updated data on your system, it's not going to bloody play it. No, whereas you can pick up a cartridge from those years ago and it'll play. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I think
so. Apparently, the solution isn't perfect for this, but at least we're getting somewhere.
But like I say, it's emulation. Emulation's always has wonkiness to it. It's never as clean as playing the original games, because it's running on different hardware that's using different protocols and different programming and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But as like someone who does play games, I don't think the N64 emulator from the games I played is as bad as everyone says. I know I've not played Ocarina of Time, which is meant to be one of the worst ones, but I'm playing Yoshi's Story at the moment and it feels fine. I've had a quick go on Banjo-Kazooie and that feels fine. So there might be a little bit of like delay and stuff, but I don't notice it. I think majority of people won't notice it. I think it's only like the people who really look for it that will actually notice these problems. But anyway, where are we?
Moving on. Pokemon Story.
Oh yes, Pokemon Story.
A YouTuber and coder by the name of Dragon.
I don't remember this story. The Pokemon company says it's
Jed and Pokemon project they've been working on is first-person shooter powered by Unreal Engine. For real.
Yeah, and I'll put this picture up as well. There's a picture of a gun shooting one of the Pokemon. I can understand why this is
pocket monsters instead of catching them, which is, I don't know how I feel about that, honestly.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you're that talented, just make your own game. Why do this? Because you know you're going to get a cease and desist on it.
I don't want to shoot Pokemon, I don't think.
No, it's not. It's not that kind of game, and it's like they're all cute and cuddly and things. And it's like, if you want to make a game where you're shooting cute cuddly monsters, make a game where you shoot cuddly monsters, but don't rip off another IP, because you know it's not going to, like, you're going to get yourself a cease and desist and possibly sued.
I just want to say that on one of the news sites that I was just looking at, there was a screenshot of a tweet, and the media, it said in the centre of the picture that they had posted with that, it says, "This media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner."
Exactly.
So
it's like,
this isn't even already off the ground and we've already got a copyright strike.
Images of Pokemon are copyrighted material. The Pokemon company is massive. It's like one of the largest franchises, isn't it, in the world? They are not going to let you do this. Why would you even think, just
also the video of the game footage that has appeared on various different news websites is also now saying video unavailable due to
in which point I'm not going to put a picture.
Company International Incorporated. And
if you're wondering why a picture didn't appear, it's because of that reason, copyright laws. Because I'm not going to put a picture up. It's. I don't know. I don't know why people think that it'll be fine. I'll do this. Why? What? You're just wasting your own time. If you're that talented, make your own game with your own assets and things.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not. It's not. And our final story for today.
Oh, I found another Pokemon one to finish with. There will be pictures of this one.
I want one of these.
Do you? Which one do you want? And the Pokemon Company has unveiled a new line of skateboard decks.
Eevee skateboards.
Eevee, yes. So you got like the Eevee, the Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, and Umbreon.
I think Espeon or Umbreon. That's the one.
I know BP Bartlett would want Umbreon because she likes Umbreon.
Okay, so are you putting up a
There
picture?
will be a picture, yeah, just sort of.
Okay. So these look amazing, and they are a collaboration between Pokemon and skateboard craftsman Bear Walker and their limited edition. They're 29-inch boards. They come in the 9 different designs, and they're obviously different coloured. And to be honest, they are fabulous.
They do look nice. They do look nice. I think
$249 a pop, but
if I was to have one, it would just be on the wall. I don't think I'd want to stand on it.
I'd ride it.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I have done a lot of skateboarding in the past, so I'm quite experienced.
How did that go for you?
Ruptured my cruciate, but I think it's happened to everyone.
I've never ruptured my cruciate.
No, I did enjoy my skateboarding time, but I'm moving on. So as of today, I'm moving on to roller skating. That's my new hobby. I'm hoping to get a pair of roller skates for my birthday.
Oh, who from?
I don't know.
To someone.
If I don't get any from anybody else, I'll probably buy some myself because there's a few different places in London. And my local high street down here in London has got a whole massive pedestrianised section where, this is going to be me skating up and down.
I've been there. It's really busy. How would you skate up and down there? It's like people everywhere.
No, get away. It's quite wide as well as long, so there'd be plenty of space for me to razz up and down. And please don't ask me if I'm getting safety equipment because I'm tired of answering that question.
For anyone watching, if you do take up skateboarding or roller skating, please use safety equipment. Don't be like
But so the Pokemon Center stores in the US and Canada, and there's going to be a store in the UK. But they're not coming here. So we are getting an online Pokemon Center store.
We already have it. We already have the
the
Pokemon Center online store.
We will, but we're not going to be having the skateboards in it.
We already got it. There is a Pokemon Center store online now.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Because I got BP Barlett her Umbreon present from there.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
For Christmas.
It's £5 flat shipping from them, isn't it?
I can't remember what I paid for shipping.
Yeah.
They're a bit limited on the stuff at the moment, though.
In London somewhere, isn't there?
I know there's been a pop-up one before. I think it was in Westfield.
Last one was November 19, I think.
The queues were like 6-7 hours to get in.
Yeah.
Which makes you just think, surely that's an indication that a shop permanently would potentially work.
Yeah. I mean, I live here and anywhere I have to queue, I don't go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wanted to go to it, but it's like, there's no way I'm queuing to get in.
And that is the end of the news.
That is the end of the news.
Where can they find you, Bestie?
You can find me streaming over on twitch.tv/Ninqueso, where I tend to stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Usually. So hopefully I will see you then. Or you can find me on Facebook or Twitter, which I don't have the Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter, Gamer Girl Miss Brie. I tweet about all sorts of things, really. Gaming, neurodivergency, general sort of like gossip.
Yeah.
So come along and see me. It's GMRGRL_MISSBRIE, Gamer Girl Miss Brie. So are you going to do the Batman thing?
I'm going to see if there's any questions.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Are there any questions?
I don't know.
I don't have questions, unfortunately, because people are just busy giving me donuts.
Oh, right.
What's for dinner?
Latest. Is there any Ninqueso live tags on Twitter? No, there's not. Oh well.
I'm going out for dinner, seeing as it's levelling up day.
I'm not. I'm just going to be here, working, editing the podcast.
Oh, it's hard times.
I know.
No, I don't have any more questions.
No, nor do I. But if you do want to leave us a question, you can either leave them down in the comments of this if you're watching this on YouTube. And while you're there, please like and subscribe as well. Or you can leave a hashtag Ninqueso live over on Twitter and I will do the search and find it. And at the moment, you're in a good chance of getting your question answered because we don't have many.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of questions, but we're always up to answer questions. And your question can be about anything at all. We don't mind.
Exactly. Anything at all. But if we don't want to answer it, we won't.
Okay, now it's time to do the Batman thing.
Yeah, okay. Right, count me in.
3, 2, 1.
Will Miss Bree level up her roller skating ability, or will she end up with another torn cruciate? Will she regret not buying safety gear? Find out the questions to these answers. Same cheesy time, same cheesy channel.
Actual stories may vary. Thanks for joining with your bestie. Say goodnight.
Good night, bestie. You didn't really let me into that. It's like, thanks for joining with me. Say goodnight, bestie. Then I can go good night, bestie. You say goodnight.
Okay.
So
all right, we'll do it again. Thanks for joining me. Say goodnight, bestie.
Good night, bestie.